For many families, the challenge of inheriting a home, it doesn't begin with emotion. It actually begins with logistics. Phone calls, emails, paperwork. Suddenly, someone's responsible for property taxes, insurance, utilities, and maintenance on a home that they never planned to manage. At first, it feels manageable. Then it starts to feel really heavy. The house becomes a quiet question mark. Not urgent, but, always there. And every month that passes, it raises the same thought. Are we doing the right thing by waiting? Or are we creating bigger problems by not acting now? Selling an inherited home, it often lands on families at a time when life is already so full. There's work, kids, travel, and responsibilities continue while this additional role sits in the background. Most people are not at all prepared for it, and that's completely normal. Hi, I'm Don Pelletier with the Don Pelletier Group. For more than 4 decades, I've personally helped San Diego families move from uncertainty to clarity when inherited properties become part of their reality. In fact, in my experience, the difference between stress and confidence, it almost always comes down to really understanding the process, before decisions are made. So let's start with why this type of sale feels different from the very beginning. Well, inherited home sales come with layers that we don't exist in a traditional transaction. The person managing the sale is often not the original owner. That means less familiarity with the property, its history, and also, more often than not, its condition. Decisions are made with partial information, which naturally creates hesitation. In fact, here in San Diego, those challenges, they're amplified by high property values and also very strict legal requirements. Even a small misstep can feel expensive. Families often worry about making the wrong decision at the wrong time. Some homes are held in trusts and they allow for quicker action, while other properties, they require probate, which introduces court timelines and oversight. In many cases, family members live in different cities or even different states, making coordination really complex. But this process can feel overwhelming because responsibility and uncertainty, they arrive at the very same time. Once the steps, though, are clear, families stop guessing and start moving forward with intention. But before discussing pricing or, the condition of the home, it's truly essential to confirm who has a legal authority to act on behalf of the property. This is going to determine who can sign documents, make decisions, and move the process forward. In fact, in some situations, that authority is clearly outlined in a family trust. In others, though, probate's required and the court appoints a personal representative. Families often assume authority based on a family role rather than the actual legal documentation, which can lead to unnecessary delays. So confirming this early on creates clarity, protects the transaction, and allows productive conversations to begin. Once authority is established, the next challenge is direction. Families often believe they're aligned until decisions need to be made. Some people, they prioritize speed. Others want to maximize the value, and some, they just want minimal involvement. Others want full oversight of all the details. Without a shared objective, decisions stall and frustration starts to build. This step is about agreeing on the goal of the sale. Is the priority efficiency, value, simplicity, or a balance of all three? Defining this early on guides every decision that follows, and it reduces conflicts along the way. With goals defined, it's important to confirm the legal structure of the sale. In California, this typically means determining whether the property will be sold through a family trust or the probate process. Trust sales generally allow more flexibility and faster timelines, where probate sales may involve notice periods, court supervision, and additional approvals that are required. Some probate cases, though, they allow for independent administration, while others require court confirmation. Understanding which process applies prevents unrealistic expectations and allows families to, plan and use their timelines and responsibilities with confidence. But pricing an inherited home, it's not about chasing the highest possible number. It's really more about setting a value that can be supported legally, financially, and emotionally. In probate cases, a probate referee appraisal may be required, where in trust sales, a detailed market analysis is typically sufficient. Either way, though, the goal is a price range that's going to reflect market reality, meet legal requirements, and defensible value reduces disagreement among heirs and creates confidence with buyers and plays a really important role in tax planning, especially with the stepped-up basis that many inherited properties receive. Every inherited sale requires decisions about effort. How hands-on does the family want to be? Some families, they choose to sell the home as is, trading a lower price for speed and simplicity. Others, though, they're willing to invest time and money into the improvements to increase the value. This step is really about balancing effort with return. Over improvement, that often leads to frustration as well. Under preparation can limit buyer interest. So the right approach really depends on capacity, timeline, and tolerance for complexity. While decisions are being made, the property still needs care. Neglect can create a whole new set of problems and reduce the value. Insurance coverage may need adjustment. Utilities often need to remain active at all times. Landscaping, cleanliness, and basic safety matter. Vacant homes attract issues if they're left unmanaged. And stabilizing the property really does protect the estate and preserves your options. It also prevents, those last-minute emergencies when decisions to sell is made. So inherited home sales, they're not beginner transactions by any stretch. The professionals involved, they must have a very clear understanding of legal documents, timelines, and family dynamics. An experienced team anticipates, the obstacles, explains options clearly, and manages details that families should not have to navigate alone. This is often the point where stress begins to lift. Disclosures are not just paperwork, they are protection. In inherited sales, the seller's knowledge is often very limited, so clearly documenting what is known and what is not, it protects the estate. Pre-inspections can further reduce uncertainty and renegotiation at a later point. Well, transparency builds trust with buyers and keeps escrow, right on track. So after an offer is accepted, the path to closing really depends on the legal structure of the sale. Trust sales often proceed directly to escrow, where probate sales may require notice periods, court confirmation, or overbid opportunities. So patience and accuracy matter here. Skipping steps can invalidate the sale. So you have to know exactly what's going on ahead of time before taking any action. Closing escrow does not always mean that the process is complete either. Proceeds must be handled according to trust terms or probate rules. So for example, in probate cases, funds typically flow to the estate first before obligations are settled and distributions are made. Transparency and accuracy are essential to avoid disputes. Handled correctly, this final step brings resolution and peace of mind. Decision fatigue is normal, let's face it. Even the most organized families feel it. You do not need to solve, everything at once. Progress comes from taking one clear step at a time with the right guidance. Selling an inherited home is not about, rushing or avoiding responsibility. It's truly about making informed decisions with clarity and confidence. So if you have an inherited home here in San Diego area and you're unsure, how to proceed or move forward, I invite you to reach out. A short, pressure-free conversation can help you understand your options and create a plan that's going to fit your situation perfectly. You can call me at 858-336-1114 or email donp@pelletierhomes.com or visit us at donpelletier.com so we can set up a one-on-one consultation. We have experience with hundreds of trusts and probates, multiple professional designations in probate and inherited homes, and all the resources you could ever need to move things forward. Our team is the right fit for you. I'm Don Pelletier with the Don Pelletier Group, where we deliver results that move you. Well, thank you for watching. I look forward to helping you take your next steps with confidence.